I'm going to talk about the host families. So our bus, because there were host families who lived in Akko and in Nayaria. So our bus dropped half the kids off in Akko first, and then the other half of us stayed on the same bus and went to Nayaria to get dropped off. And that's where I got dropped off. My host family greeted me by saying like their names and like, "It's okay, she drives." And they're pointing to the girl who had her driver's license for literally 3 days. I would find out that wasn't very fun, going 60 kilometers around the mountain with a new driver with motorcycles coming up around the car. Because she would like try to go away like close to the mountain, and then her father would have to turn the wheel back towards the bikers. The first night, he said, "Oh yeah, we can go biking or hiking up the mountain." So I was like, I can't bike very well. So he said, "Then we can go hiking." What I didn't realize is that he had 1,300-year-old ruins in their backyard from the Ottomans. It was just there. Like they had walls, they had remnants of a church, they had a well that was open. It was like 20 feet deep. Like you could just fall into it if it were dark out. It was just there. And then they had like a grinding stone, huge stone that was used for grinding things, and it was really circular. I really wondered how did people without tools like today make something in a perfect circle? It's amazing. Then the next day, it got really interesting because we went close to the Lebanon border at Mount Adir, which is a mountain that's one of the tallest in that area. And up on the top, they have a radar for the IDF, and I think there's a base up there too. But you could see the Lebanon border. It was probably a mile and a half away ish, probably, not sure. But they had it's cool because through the mountain you could see it cut out like a fence, And after that, we drove for an hour and a half with the same driver who's had the driver's license for 4 days through mountains. And then on the expressway, it was green because we were in the Golan Heights area. So even the expressway was beautiful because you had mountains on your left, like a big valley that was green, and then mountains on your way on the right. You can just see the outline. And as we got closer, Itan, which is the name of the father, he pointed up there, that's where we're going, up there. This teensy little fort. It was probably 3,000 feet high, I'm just guessing. But as we got closer, the road got smaller and smaller and smaller as we got up the hill. And of course, my Matar got more and more scared because at one point, the yellow lines in the road weren't there. So she got worried because she didn't know what her half of the road was. When we got up the fort though, it just kept getting bigger, And then we got there, and it was easily, there were rooms easily the size of this room, So it was very, very big. That was, I think, 1,500 years old. There was one part where you walked around. It wasn't in good condition, so you kind of had to make your way through uneven ground, stairs that are uneven, things like signs that say danger of death, do not enter. So it's very, very different. But there was one thing at the top. When you get to the top, about 100 stairs, it's a beautiful view of the Golan Heights. And so of course we got a photo. There was 400-foot cliff. But just beautiful. And then you could hear the drones from the IDF driving around overhead. Sounds like a buzzing sound, like helicopter drone things. But it was pretty cool, because it sounds oh yeah, there's a drone. But we saw it for a split second, but it was so high that you couldn't see it very well. And after that, we went to, and this is even scarier, we went to an IDF bunker, which was less than a mile measured away from the Syrian border. And at the top of this one, they had 2 guards from the United Nations, one from the United Kingdom and one from, I think it was Slovakia at the top. And they were saying that their job was solely to look out over Syria and send in if there were any gunfires, any bombs, any missiles, send that over to the UN for further analysis. So they were just standing there all day is what they said. You could see the trench, he talks about that there's a trench about I think 20 feet wide, so that tanks, because when Syrians tried to invade Israel in the 70s, they brought in I think 250 tanks. So now what they put that there so the Israelis can't go into Syria, but more likely so that the Syrians can't get their tanks over the border because they would get stuck in the trench. And then they would have to go over a 40-foot fence, which is pretty difficult. And then after that, we like went to get ice cream at this like homemade ice cream shop. You know, it was like really good because when they were bowling, we were out eating ice cream. You know, they had to go to a play all in Hebrew, and then they had to go get bowling. You know, I don't think they had to, but our like the girl like who was with us said that it was her school, so she really didn't want to go because she said we would be bored because it's in Hebrew. So she's like, it's better that we drive around and do something than sit there in Hebrew. So that's what we did. That's about it.